So, you're in your English-speaking work meeting. The conversation is flowing, people are talking, and suddenly you have a question. How can you politely interrupt the meeting to ask your question? Watch here to get ideas for your professional performance in English, plus 4 great questions to ask in your English work meeting. Hey, listen to me is obviously not the politest of ways to catch your colleagues' attention during your English work meeting. In fact, the way that a lot of English speakers politely interrupt conversations is to apologize. Have you ever noticed that? For example, sorry to cut in. Excuse me for interrupting. Sorry, quick thing. It makes the conversation 10 times longer, but it is considered polite communication in English, so it will probably happen a lot during your meetings. Right, once you've caught the attention of everybody in the meeting, it's time to actually ask your real question. How can you do that in correct English? Of course, that will depend on your situation. Keep watching to see 4 typical scenarios where you need to ask a question during your English work meeting. You're sitting in your English work meeting and you have no idea what everybody is talking about. If you're confused, get clarification with a question like this. Could you explain that in a bit more detail? Top tip, using words like could and a bit softens your request, making it more polite. Additionally, the phrase a bit more detail is intentionally vague, as this helps to avoid the other person feeling attacked for being unclear. You're simply asking for clarification. By the way, remember, if you want to practice speaking English for meetings, you can always book a one-to-one session with me. Just check out my website, talktips.tv. Imagine in your English work meeting you need advice or information about a project or task. In this case, introduce the topic with a question like this. Can we discuss blah 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 for a moment? For example, can we discuss Project X for a moment? And now you can ask your specific questions related to the project or task, like which tools are best for this part of the project? Are there any recommendations at this stage? Obviously, your specific question will depend on your job, but asking to discuss the topic first is a smart move to catch everybody's attention in the meeting and signal that they should be ready to contribute. This way, you'll get better, more focused advice. If you've been speaking for a while during your English work meeting and now you want to pass the ball to somebody else and invite somebody else to contribute, here's a question you can ask. Would you like to add your thoughts? Whatever the person's name is. This phrasing is polite and works well if you know that the other person is happy to talk. However, if you prefer not to target one individual, then you can also ask a question to the entire group like this. Would anyone else like to add something? In this context, anyone else refers to another member of the team without pointing out one single person. And something refers to an unspecified contribution, like feedback, an idea, or any additional information. So this approach keeps the conversation open to the whole team during your English work meeting. In order to know what actions you have to do after this meeting has finished, ask a question like this. Before we finish, what is our next move? This approach is clear and direct. But in case you prefer a slightly softer and more formal tone, ask this. Could I just confirm the next steps? So that's something to remember when you use words like just. It does help to reduce the impact of a request. So this could be useful, like I said, in a formal situation or maybe in a sensitive scenario that you have during your English work meeting. How do you feel now? Ready for your next English work meeting? If you've got more energy for English learning right now, then check out my other video about how to make polite requests in professional English communication. I think you'll find it useful. And if you found this video useful, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel for more tips to speak English for work. Thanks so much and take care.